Hello everyone, this is Patrick from North52, and in this video I'm going to go through some of the debugging and tracing that's available in North52. To do this, we have a simple formula that is hooked up to the opportunity entity. Whenever the estimated value or the closed probability on an opportunity change, it will execute a small calculation and store the output in the description field. The formula will first check if the estimated value contains data, then it will multiply that estimated revenue by the closed probability and divide the outcome by 100. This gives us our weighted estimated revenue value that is then stored in the description field. As you can see, this is a very simple formula. Its sole purpose is to give you an understanding of the debugging and tracing that is available in North52. On this tab, I have an open opportunity. Its estimated revenue is set to £8,487 sterling. When I change the closed probability to say 20% and click Save, you can see now that the description field is populated. £1,697.40 would be the weighted estimated revenue now. This is a very simple formula, but for example, if the calculation was a little bit more complicated and it was not producing the output you were expecting, we would need to turn on tracing in the formula to see exactly what happens at each step in that formula. We will turn on tracing here at the formula level. On the Register tab, we expand the Deployment Settings node and then select Information from the drop-down list. This instructs the formula to produce a trace log whenever it executes in the Dynamics instance. This will give us a clear picture of what happens in this formula real time, including any outputs from North52 function calls and any values that were used during the calculation. I will now trigger the formula again by increasing the probability to 70% and clicking Save. The value in the description field changes again, and we will now click back to the formula and open the Formula Trace tab. You can see that a trace log has been created, so we will open it and take a look at its contents. Each trace log that is generated is linked to its parent formula. You can see the date and time it executed, as well as the user involved. The trace will contain all information about the formula as it executes through the Dynamics instance. The trace log is broken into multiple sections. The first of these is the plugin context. Here we can find information about the message. In this case it was an update message, not a create or delete message, etc. The stage is 40, which means it's a post-operation stage, so the change that triggers the formula has already been committed to the database. The depth is 1. Microsoft uses depth to control infinite loop depth in logic in Dynamics. For online instances, Microsoft allows a depth of up to 16, or on-premise they allow 8 by default. For an on-premise instance though, you can raise the level using PowerShell commands, but that is not available for online instances. The next section is the entity trace for the opportunity. These are the values that were changed on the record and then saved. The save to the database triggered this formula. You can see that the closed probability was changed to 70 and the modified on and modified by were also changed. This is an automatic functionality by Microsoft when a record gets modified. At the end of the plugin context information, you can see the list of formulas to be triggered. In this case it's only one formula with a shortcode of 7BI, and the inputs for the formula are the fields estimated value, opportunity ID, and the closed probability. The opportunity ID is an input since we'll be using this value to complete an update statement on the opportunity with the output of the calculation. The next part is the execution of each of the formulas that are triggered and their outputs. Each formula has a start and an end, so if you have multiple formulas executing, it is easy to trace exactly what each one is doing. As the formula executes, you will see an output for each function that's called in North52. You can see here the first one is the output from the contains data, which has a value of true since the estimated revenue contains data. Next you can see the set attribute function is populated with the output of the calculation and shows that it will be a value put in the description field. The output of the update record function tells us that an opportunity record with this GUID was updated. Since North52 formulas pass their results out each time, the result of the if true is the GUID, and then the result of the decision table is the GUID as well. You can read more about this in the link to our support article on trace log reading in the comments below. Finally, the next relevant piece is the entity trace for the North52 formula itself. This gives you information about the shortcode, the entity name, and attributes that the formula is connected to, its pipeline stage, post-op, pre-op, etc., and the formula type. This can be especially helpful when you have multiple chains of formulas executing. For example, the update of the description field might trigger another formula that updates something on the primary account, which in turn might trigger a formula on the account entity. This section in the trace log would give you information about that formula. This video provides a very high-level overview of debug and trace capabilities in North52. If you would like to know more, we have detailed information available on our support site. Thank you for watching, and as always, if you need any assistance, please visit support.north52.com or email support@north52.com.